I'm just so excited about this, Libby, because, so many people in the residential cleaning business struggle so much with hiring. I saw over in Launch 27's Facebook post earlier today, somebody said, hey, tell me what your employee turnover rate, and people are posting 16%, 22%, 27%. And it's just so frustrating, when you have a team of 10, but you issued 40 W-2s over the course of last year, right? Because of all 30 people coming and going, and the only people that are left are 10 that come and go. So obviously, we all want to grow our businesses in 2022. And if you're a Launch 27 user, it's very frustrating to have to black out dates on your Book Now form as not available. And it's not that you're not available. It is that you're shorthanded, right? I mean, it's so frustrating when you have a Book Now form where you could make money in your sleep. People who want to use you, they want to go to your website, they want to schedule a cleaning and pick a day and pay you, that you would have to black out a whole bunch of dates because you're shorthanded. You just don't have the staff. It's frustrating because you're literally leaving money on the table. One of the things we teach in cleaning business fundamentals is how one lost opportunity, right? One customer who should have been your customer, but you didn't even return their call because you were embarrassed over the fact that you don't have enough staff to even service their home or to sell, or, to take them on as a client. One lost opportunity could have been your next weekly or biweekly client. On average, a residential cleaning company's recurring clients are going to spend at least $3,200 a year with you. So what's it costing you to not be able to set goals and plan for the future, right? And those are more dates you have to block off on your schedule that are not available for you to sell time. And that's what we do. We sell time. So we're glad you're here. I'm giving it a little bit of time for more people to join us. Please type into the comments as soon as you see us live and you're paying close attention, you're anxious to hear what Coach Libby has to say. Please type into the comments a quick hello and tell us where you are from. So I'm in Flower Mound, Texas. Nobody's ever heard of that. So that's north of Dallas. So I'm near Dallas, Texas. Libby, tell them where you're from, where you're calling in from today.
So I am from Fort Myers, Florida, sunny Fort Myers, Florida.
Yay, sunny Fort Myers, Florida. Business is booming all over the country. And just a quick little bit about myself for those of you that are watching on another platform. And Libby, if you'll just scoot over a little bit towards the photos behind you, you'll be more centered here. Just scoot over, no, other way, a little more, the other way. Yep, right there. You are perfectly centered because StreamYard cuts it in half. So just a little bit of background on myself, and then Libby will share with you a little bit of background about herself and her pain to glory story, right? Of getting out of the field as a house cleaner and really taking her business over the $1 million mark. But I started out cleaning houses just like most of you did. And if you started out being the cleaner, it's not like you bought a business and stepped right into the office, the corporate environment. But if you started out as a cleaner, as I did, as Libby did, as many of us did, type into the chat, I cleaned, and then add how many years. So I would type in, I cleaned 8 years. That's how long I cleaned. Libby, how long did you clean before you stepped out of the field forever for your last time?
I only cleaned for 1 year.
1 year. Okay. She was smarter than me. I cleaned for 8 years and I loved it until the day I didn't. Right. So there was a certain point in my progression and in my growth as I was taking on more clients where I realized, oh, I'm full. I'm at capacity. I want to start hiring people. And that's when I started hiring. And that's when all the problems started. I didn't have any problems when I cleaned solo, right? Because I always showed up. I always showed up on time. I always did a good job. I didn't cheat my customers or cut corners. So I didn't have any problems when it was just me. Also didn't have a problem with profitability when it was just me. As a solo owner operator, I was 98% profitable. I mean, I didn't even spend 2% on supplies back then, right? So my profit margin was incredible, 98%. And the drama and the chaos was non-existent. There was no such thing as quitting because I showed up every day. It was when I started hiring and trying to transition from being the cleaner to the CEO of a cleaning business. And I wanted so much to grow an empire, but I just couldn't figure out how. So long story short, I struggled for about 14 total years in business. So cleaned for 8 years, tried to turn it into a big business set for, almost 6 more years. And in my 7th year, when I was ready to quit, throw in the towel and walk away, in my 7 years after I started easing myself out of the field, so right around my 14th year in business, I was ready to quit. My business was a mess. I was having to actually skip getting a paycheck myself in order to meet payroll and tax obligations and, pay for my overhead and my office space and my leadership team. I was literally going broke. It was real hit and miss if I could even take a paycheck. And the drama, the chaos, and the stress was so intense. The long hours that I worked, sometimes up at till 2:00 in the morning at my office doing payroll because I had to help clean during the day and I had to try to hire in the afternoon and return phone calls and figure payroll. Sometimes I was at my office till 2 a.m. and I was ready to quit and walk away. And I felt so frustrated because it's like, man, I've been doing this for 14 years. Why can't I make any money at it? Why can't I stay out of the field? Why can't I build a profitable, sustainable company that isn't nonstop drama? And I finally found a consulting firm. This was back before Zoom, Libby. It's hard for any of us to even remember business before the internet and Zoom and all the tools we have today. There was no software back then for me. And I didn't have Launch 27 like many of you have, and so many other platforms are available. And I was ready to quit, and somebody recommended a consulting firm. And I can't believe I did it because I didn't have the money. It was so expensive. It's shocking. It was over $40,000 to hire them. But they came out, they flew an entire team out to my office of consultant from Chicago. Again, you got to remember, this was before the internet, before Zoom. So if you're going to learn something, somebody had to show up physically and teach you. And they spent over 2 weeks in my business, turned it upside down. And together we created the formula I've been using now for almost 30 years. 9 months after they left my office, my business did $1 million. I stayed out of the field 100% after that. And fast forward, now our business is well over $2 million. We have over 50 employees. And I've been a fully retired absentee owner now for more than a dozen years, which gave me the time and the freedom to start the nonprofit Cleaning for a Reason. I never had the time, freedom, or the money to do that. It gave me the time and money freedom to start this nonprofit I love so much that Libby's company is a part of. And it gave me the time freedom to launch the #1 residential cleaning business academy in the world. And we've created more Mop-Free Millionaires than anyone on the planet. And proof of the results that we get with the people that come through our program is Coach Libby. So I'm going to brag about her a little bit because she doesn't brag on herself. She's a very humble person. But I will tell you, when I met Libby, she immediately, I didn't even have to talk her into joining the program. She had just had a baby and she said, Debbie, I can't go back out there and clean. I don't want to miss this little one's life. And she said, I can't go back out there and clean. I want to grow my business. I know I have what it takes not as an entrepreneur. And I could tell by talking to her, she did. She's smart. And fast forward, in a very short period of time, she took the CBF training. She came through the program. She got the results she was looking for. She built her business to well over $1 million. And now she has so much time and money freedom. She's launched another business called Woot Recruit. And literally Woot Recruit is transforming cleaning businesses all around the country, just like Launch 27 did when they created this incredible Book Now form that really didn't exist before online bookings for maid services. And so just like Launch 27 has literally transformed the way we do business, Libby and Paul, her partner, they have together created a software to help you reach your hiring goals. And if you want to talk with her further about that afterwards, she'll give us some information on how to reach her. If you want to meet Coach Libby in person, then register for the biggest residential cleaning business training event ever. It's happening April 7th, 8th, and 9th. I have it running across the screen on my little ticker tape here in StreamYard. And it's April 7th, 8th, and 9th in Dallas, Texas. So from anywhere in the United States, it's usually pretty cheap to fly to DFW International Airport. Go to cbflive.com. If you are watching today on the Launch 27 Facebook group, then we're going to let you use coupon code Launch 27. So the number 27, Launch 27, coupon code Launch 27. Hopefully Diana was able to get that code. I forgot to listen to see if she was able to. Diana, you can type in a message if I messed up. I forgot to check. But hopefully you can use Launch 27 as your coupon code and get registered and save yourself $200. Our theme this year is 10X your team. Perfect timing. You'll get to meet Coach Libby and talk to the amazing folks like her husband, Chris, from Woot Recruit to help you recruit better so that you can go woohoo. How did I do, Libby?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Good. So you can use, if you're watching from Launch 27's Facebook group, you can use Launch 27 as your coupon code to save $200 off the registration. Now, if you're in my groups or one of Libby's groups, or if you're in my group, Cleaning Business Profits or Cleaning Business Fundamentals, and you want to come and you're like, why haven't I registered yet? You still have time to save. It's actually not a rounded $200. You'll save $197 tonight by using these coupon codes. So Libby's coupon code, guys, write this down if you're not in the Launch 27 group. Libby's coupon code is Hire Now.
That's easy
How
to
easy
remember.
is that? Is that easy, Libby? Hire Now. I figure I got to do something easy or I'll forget. So Libby's coupon code is Hire Now. That will be your thank you, Libby, for doing this webinar tonight, taking your own time away from your beautiful family to help teach all of us. There are people on here saying, even though it doesn't show your Facebook name, it says, I love Woot Recruit. That's some of your fans right there. Here's Stacy, one of our advanced pros that came through the CBF training system, fixed her business, has absolutely done phenomenal with her growth. She is another Mop-Free millionaire. And Stacy Wyland, one of our true givers in our program, says Woot Recruit has changed my business. Let me share something else. Woot Recruit, keep up the great work. Paul Fasthauer, Christopher, Jamie DeLucien, Libby. All right. So there's your Woot Recruit link. I see Debbie Saviano is in here. She's an amazing person that helps us with our social media. Let's see. Erica Turner is here and she says, I am registered and I can't wait to meet all of you. You know what? We can't wait to meet you as well, Erica. Let's see here.
Good time.
Libby, yes, it's going to be perfect timing. Let's see here. Now Debbie keeps me and
that was from Diana.
Let's see here. Yes, I know. Diana is in there as the Debbie Sardone consulting page helping us. So Diana, you better type something in here so I know I didn't get myself in trouble. Did you have time to create the Launch 27 coupon code for $197 off? She's like, Debbie, you're killing me. You're killing me. Is a hiring issue now in your house cleaning company? She's asking everybody questions. I just want to make sure I recognize everybody. Still cleaning. And I have 8 employees. Oh my goodness, call me. Hello, still cleaning and you have 8 employees? I'll get you out of the field in 90 days, dear. You are missing the opportunity to focus all of your time, energy, and talent on building your empire every time you clean a house. We'll show you how. It's not easy. Trust me, I did it for a long time and I needed help. So just let us help you. Different story, but I'm related to you. Oh, okay. Who is that? Tell me your name. It's not showing up. And Stacy says she can't wait. And let's see here. Hello from Fort Gratoit, That's probably wrong. Gatoy, Michigan. I'm just going to say hello from Michigan. I'm all ears and I'm ready to learn. Been in business since April 2018 and I still clean. Oh my goodness. We'll get you out of the field, my dear. It's shockingly simple, but I'm going to say not easy, right? Because being an entrepreneur is never easy. Anybody that tells you it is lying to you. But the concepts to get the owner out of the field permanently so they spend all of their time building an empire instead of cleaning a house, the concepts and the steps to getting out of the field permanently and being able to focus on building your empire are relatively simple, and we will show you how. All righty. Somebody else said, talk to someone last week who's been cleaning for 25 years. She wanted to know all about CBF. And she said she's got stuff to learn and she's ready after 25 years. Here's what's really cool. It is never too late to start building your empire. Never. Do you agree with that, Libby? Never too late to start today?
I agree 100%. There's so many people in CBF that have cleaned for years and they come in and they're in. And I think Amy's one. How many years did Amy clean for?
Amy Smith, she cleaned, I believe she said 30 years.
And look at her now.
And you should look at her now. She just posted the beautiful office space she just moved into. 30 years working out of her home, trying to manage 2 or 3 helpers, right, that would come and go. And Amy Smith's one of the most positive people I've ever been around. She even said, I don't know, is it too late for me? I don't know if I can really do this. I think she said she's got a team of 10 employees. She's got a beautiful office she just moved into. And I know she's going to double just because she now has a more professional environment, and an office makes you work in a more structured environment. So I can't wait to see what she does. I think, Libby, she'll be going into our advanced CBF Pro groups here within a year or 2.
Oh, yeah.
She's a go-getter. All righty. So somebody else said, I am approaching 1 year of cleaning. Good. You don't have to make 8 years of mistakes. We'll help you. All right. And then hello, Clean Sweep Services in Ocean City, New Jersey. I love it. And then someone else said, I've cleaned for 4 years. So here's why it's not showing on my StreamYard account, your actual Facebook profile name. You actually have to go to facebook.com/StreamYard and give StreamYard or Facebook, well, I don't know how it works, but you give StreamYard permission to show your Facebook profile. So those of you that are on here regular with me, if you'll do that, facebook.com/StreamYard, you can give it permission. We'll be able to see your name here. Somebody else said you cleaned for 8 years. Okay, that's awesome. You and I are twins. And then Erica cleaned for 6 and 8. And I want those earrings, Libby. Oh my gosh, they are gorgeous. They are gorgeous. Yeah, I kind of have earring envy too. I can't wear earrings with these. Somebody else said, Libby, they cleaned for 12 years. 6 years, 4 years. Stacy cleaned for 4 years when she found us. I believe she was out of the field. You can clarify that, Stacy, but her business wasn't working. And now she has an incredible team. Her business is bigger than she ever thought she could get it. Her number one goal was to retire her husband and move to this beautiful property. And she said, I want to move to this property. And I forget what she told me, but it was some far off distant goal, like in 20 years. And they already moved there. They're on this beautiful dream property they've always been saving for. She took CBF. She fixed her business. Number one, she retired her husband from his job. Number 2, she bought her dream property. I'm getting chills just repeating this story.
And she sends us pictures of her hiking all the time on this property.
Oh my gosh. She really does. They're very outdoorsy people, really fun people. And we get to live vicariously through her. Although, Libby, I do live vicariously through you at times. Libby is pretty much on vacation about half the time. Now, maybe I'm exaggerating, but you sure do spend a lot of quality time with your family doing fun stuff in Florida. So I love it. Okay, here was a Christina Alpa says 6 years in residential cleaning, feeling like a hamster on a wheel. That is exactly how I felt before I fixed my broken business. And once I had the secret formula, right, like the roadmap to the buried treasure, I went straight to it, right? The only thing that's missing are the steps. It's not that you're not smart enough. It's not that you aren't driven enough. Obviously, you're driven. It's just that we can't go beyond our own internal capabilities in terms of size and potential without outside help. And any of the biggest success stories in the world, like Elon Musk and Warren Buffett and Bill Gates, they will all tell you, Virgin Records, Richard Branson, they will all tell you they didn't do it alone either. They all had a coach or a mentor. You can save money or you can save your time, either one. Do it yourself and spend 20 years trying to figure it out, or hire a professional who's already figured it out to help you. So that's why we asked Libby to come on tonight, because we know a lot of people in Launch 27, Cleaning Business Profits Group, struggle intensely with attracting employees, hiring employees, and even starting at the beginning and setting goals for how many employees they should have. And that's why we asked Libby to come on here. Someone else posted, I cleaned for 8 years and also have a husband who is a police officer, just like Debbie Sardone. Love our police officers. Tell your husband we adore him and appreciate him. And I was lucky enough that once I fixed my broken business, I was able to retire my husband from the police department. He was ready to get out. He had been in 20 years. He was only 45 years old, and he was ready to get out. And thank the Lord, we were able to retire him. So many great stories of people. I've been cleaning for around 12 years, my own business, 5 years, maybe 6. I have 2 helpers and still in the field. Ugh. I have a consult tomorrow. Oh, yay. Awesome. So excited about connecting with you. Type in your name here because it's not showing up here on the StreamYard, but type in your name so we can be looking for it. Happy that you were able to book a consult. So here's the thing, cleaning for 12 years, Libby, my own business for 5. So she probably worked for somebody else's and then owned her own business, did it for 5, maybe 6 now. She's got 2 helpers and she's still in the field. And the word ugh is what is popping out at me. So here's the thing. I was not above cleaning. Libby would tell you she wasn't above cleaning. It's not that cleaning is beneath us, but when you have entrepreneurialism running through your veins, it really gets squashed and pushed down when you end up starting a business and it turns into a job, right? And so your entrepreneurial spirit is crushed. So at first it was exciting. Oh, I've started this cleaning business and everybody wants me and everybody's hiring me and everyone's referring me. And then all of a sudden it's like, I can't grow this thing. I can't keep a good worker. I'm still helping my helpers instead of building my team and building my customer base, right? So that is the point. When you are saying ugh about your business, you're stuck. And a professional who knows what they're doing can help you get unstuck. So we're going to let Libby tell you a little bit about her journey of joining CBF, the transformation she's made. And then we're going to hear from her around setting our hiring goals. How many of you have really ever thought about setting hiring goals? I mean, I'll be honest with you. I was in business a lot of years before I even thought that I should set hiring goals, right? I mean, I always set customer goals. Oh, I want to hit 100 customers. Oh, I want to hit 200 customers. Or I want to hit 10,000 a month or 40,000 a month or 83,000 a month, right? To hit 1 million. So I always set those kind of goals. But how many of you, be honest, have literally thought about setting hiring goals? Start typing it in. Yes, if you do set them now. No, never thought of it, or I've thought of it, but I haven't done it. So yes, if you do, no, if you don't. Type that in for Libby. And I see Gina is here. Hey, Gina. All joining whilst at the chamber event. Awesome. That's pretty cool. She's out there networking. Let's see here. I can't wait to get my husband away from his stressful job. Hey, we've helped retire many spouses who were miserable at their job.
Including mine.
There you go. All right. Let me turn it over to you to tell your story because I've been talking a lot.
Okay, awesome. Can I share my screen?
Oh, absolutely. And let's see here.
I can just try to do
I was going to say, it's a little tricky. So I hope you're able. Is it in Google by any chance, or is it in PowerPoint?
It's in PowerPoint.
All right. Then I think you can do it by clicking share
Mm-hmm.
and then going to Chrome, and then you should see your PowerPoint in the list. StreamYard's different. There it is. All righty, let's add it. There you go.
Awesome.
Yay.
Okay. Yay. Okay. So today, super excited to talk about hiring goals. And honestly, like Debbie said, I didn't even think about setting these until I got super, super engaged in hiring and became the CBF hiring coach. And the more and more I got involved in the hiring field, the more and more I learned about it. And so if you've never set these kind of goals, it's never too late, like Debbie said. And this is one of the tools that you can use to really scale your business. And it's actually kind of mind blowing when we're going to actually give you a tool to use to put these numbers to work. But first, I just want to tell you a little bit about me and where I come from, my business. So I'd never cleaned before a day in my life professionally. I come from the professional organizing, had my professional organizing business. And then I got this crazy idea that I'm going to start a cleaning company to make money without working. I come from a family business, so entrepreneurism is in our blood. And this is literally the hardest work I've ever done, running a cleaning company. And like I said, I come from entrepreneurism. So I never cleaned before, and it is one of the hardest things I've ever done, but one of the most rewarding because it is people driven. I love it. I absolutely love running this business because I love my staff and we love our clients. But my business is fairly new, the cleaning side. And then because of CBF and meeting Paul, we launched Woot Recruit, which is at the bottom. I squished it in there. And it is the on-demand hiring system that we came up with. And it is a baby. We launched it in 2020, right during COVID. Debbie had asked me to do this presentation on a little system that I had created March 2020. And Paul was in the room. And if you guys don't know Paul Fasthauer, he will be at CBF Live. And you could meet him there. He is amazing, owns probably the largest single residential location in the United States. I think Debbie, he says he's got like 67 maids, uses the CBF model. And
and Paul's one of those people, Libby, that when he found CBF, he was doing about $500,000. So he wasn't like an unsuccessful businessman, but he was ready to quit and sell it and go do something else. He said, it's not working. It's not profitable enough. It takes too much of my personal time away from my family. And I'm not seeing a path to growth. People are turning over and over and over. And I said, don't quit yet. Don't give up. Join CBF and let's turn it around together. Oh my goodness. He passed my company up that I've been in business for almost 40 years. He passed my company up within 2 to 3 years. Now his business, like she says, 67 employees. What's his revenue, his run rate now?
He's over 4 million. I think
over 4 million.
Yeah, I think he's almost at 5. He's over 4. I know that. I can't keep up with him.
He has inspired so many of us in our group, right? So Libby is very driven. I'm very competitive. We're both competitive and driven. So are a lot of our members, especially our highest achievers. They're in the advanced pro group. Like they get to $1 million like so fast. I can't even believe it. And so we're all now chasing Paul. It's like, wait a minute, if Paul could, and he was the inspiration, Libby, behind me saying, oh, wait a minute, if I can teach my CBF members how to grow past $1 million, why is my own company not past $1 million? We stayed there for 20 years after I fixed all my broken pieces. And I didn't have a group like CBF to keep me in momentum. So I got really stale and got sidetracked and bored and just didn't grow it. And Paul was really my wake-up call. It's like, wait a minute, if I can teach him to get to 2 million, can't I teach my team and still be retired to get to 2 million? And the answer is yes, if you have a strategy. So sorry to to take over the story there, but he's been an inspiration, and now he has this incredible company with you. So keep going.
He's an inspiration and also irritating because I'm chasing him. But he's got a few years
Exactly. It's
on
like,
me.
wait a minute, I got to catch up.
He's got a few years on me, but it's fun, and it's actually fun and great to have somebody that's that successful that you can be chasing.
And he loves it, right? So he tries to help everybody. So it's not like it's not good-natured competition. And he's an incredible giver. We all love him too.
Yes. So. And so a little bit about my company right now. We are currently running at $1.75 million. And so you have to remember that my cleaning company is only about 4.5 years old. And we were able to scale that using the CBF model. I'm an organizer.
What's your run rate again? I missed it because I was reading some of the face.
5 million.
That's incredible. Okay. 4 years in business, followed the CBF model and formula to a T. Look at this. Okay. Keep going. I didn't realize it had gotten that high. You're amazing.
Yes.
You're an inspiration.
And you know, the organizer in me saw systems, and I said, take it and run. Take it and run, Libby. Don't ask why, just do it. And also Paul said the same thing. He's like, just do it. Don't ask me questions. And then we'll recruit. 1 year in, we hit our anniversary. We hit 500,000 in revenue in our startup year. And so we're super proud. I just wanted to share kind of where we're at and what we're doing. And our mission for Woot Recruit, honestly, is to help you scale your business and just provide phenomenal customer service. And if you don't know anything about it, happy to share it. And then a little bit about me personally, my passion is systems and processes. That's why I fell in love with CBF. I sat down and tried to write, because I was pregnant when I found CBF. And I sat down and tried to write a training system, and I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. Like, I got to get out of the field. The baby was due, and I could not do it. And I am like my mind is so compartmentalized and organized, but because I didn't know much about the industry, I hadn't even had my company a year, and I just couldn't do it. And then I went to the internet and I said, there has got to be a solution. But I love organization and I love systems. I am one, I think, of like 47 people in the world that is gold certified, a KonMari organizer, consultant. I don't really practice it anymore in the field. I just keep the status because I love to organize. If you want to book me locally, I'm really expensive. So I may only do like 1 or 2 jobs a year, but it's very expensive. Just that way I can still dabble in it.
But if you live in Hawaii, she'll fly out there for $10,000 and organize your office.
Yes, I will. But that is actually my passion and just what I love to do is organizing. And it's turned into an organizing of systems and processes, more of a digital side. And then here's my why. My kids, if you guys follow me on Facebook, I'm sure you've seen my daughter. She's a superstar. And then my kids, using these systems and processes have saved my business and have been proactive. That way I can, travel with my kids and spend time. I am a basketball coach. I have a nonprofit basketball organization that my son is on, number 13. And that is another passion of mine that I had that I get to actually really spend a lot of time in. And that's my daughter that really helped. That was the reason I needed to get out of the field. And so when I coach people, because I am a CBF coach, and they need to get out of the field, it's kind of like, if you were pregnant and you didn't have a choice, you would figure out how to get out, right? I had to figure it out. I had to find the solution. And so these are my whys. And then I have a 23-year-old son. He's up here in the corner. Nobody hardly ever hears about him because he's 23. He's grown up.
He's handsome. Good looking kid.
Yeah, he takes care of himself, so that's why nobody hears about him. Thank goodness he takes care of himself. But these are
We
my
love
whys.
watching the shenanigans of Yaya. She's just the most adorable thing.
Yes.
We enjoy watching her grow up.
Yes, Yaya has her own little episodes of a new episode of What is Yaya Saying? She has a Latin babysitter, and then she likes to watch the Octonauts, which speak in a British accent. So she has a weird accent right now. So just a little bit about my chaos before I found CBF. You know, I had the same chaos that I saw everybody else popping up on the screen with Steel in the Field, and they were still working, and it was, no employees. And it was the same chaos that you hear, whether you're on Facebook, you're in different groups. And then the struggle is real. And I went through it, and I knew that it had to be better. And I knew that there had to be solutions. And I just had to figure out the solutions or find the solutions. And again, my organized brain said, there's got to be a system and there's got to be a way to figure it out. So I went to the drawing board to try to figure it out and failed a few times. And I love my next slide. And failed, and, this was me failing. Up all night. I was trying to run because I didn't find CBF until Yaya was about 3 months old. Because she was born the very last day of March, and I didn't find CBF until July. And I was trying to do all of these things and raise my family, take care of my family. And it was very hard and still hard. I'm not going to lie. Even owning a recruiting company and having CBF, it's still very hard. But I've learned to be proactive. And, as a mom, trying to be a super mom and, that entrepreneur, the struggle before was almost that ugh that she had said, the other lady said, ugh. I started to have, apathy towards my business. I started to hate it. And then it started to make me, be a parent that I didn't want to be. And I started to lose that ambition and those goals I had to scale it. And then it was kind of like, maybe I'll just stay in the field and it just be me. Maybe I'll just own a job. And so I kind of had to decide which way I wanted to go and how was I going to get there. Because you see other people doing it and you're like, how can I get there? And so by really, really focusing and setting goals, right? Goal setting, finding the processes, finding the systems, and staying in the right community, staying focused, I was able to scale really, really fast. I mean, really fast. I have an amazing office team of 5 people right now. I took my son last summer on a month-long trip. We traveled across the United States from Florida. I took him to Dallas. We had a class with Debbie, so I put him in a basketball camp in Dallas. Then we rode Amtrak all the way to Phoenix to visit Paul. We went to the Grand Canyon. Imagine if you could do that. My staff kept running. They kept hiring. And then, we have an amazing team of cleaners. So imagine if you could scale that fast and you could reach those goals. But you don't know how to do it if you don't know your numbers, right? So we have to work backwards. When I first started working as a professional organizer and someone's like, well, how much money do you want to make? I was like, well, that's a good question. So I had to figure out how to work backwards. Well, I want to make $100,000 a year. So how many hours do I want to work? So I had to work backwards. So it's the same thing. And I have to say that when I look at this picture, it makes me so happy because I hear so many people that honestly hate hiring, that it makes me sad because I love my staff and I love hiring. I love interviewing. I hope she doesn't mind, but Marianne texted me the other day and she said, she's in CBF. She goes, I just want to thank you. Like, you and your coaching. She goes, you have made me and my staff love the interview process. We used to hate it. And she goes, we understand it now. She's like, we love it. We love meeting new people. We love it. We understand it. We understand our numbers. And so that's my mission, is just to help you understand and love the process. And so how do we get there, right? So first, you have to know where you're going to reach your goals. You have to know, right? If you can't measure it, you can't improve it. Right? And I ask, when people reach out to me for hiring help, I always ask them, they're like, oh, I can't find anybody that wants to work. Can't hire nobody. My first question would be, well, how many did you interview? Or how many people applied? And they don't know. They don't know their numbers. How many people looked at your application? So, and how much did you spend? What's your budget? They don't know. And so just remember, if you can't measure it, you can't improve it. So you have to measure these things, because if you're not measuring these things, you have no idea where to even start improving it. So I use this analogy because everywhere, even in CBF, every coach, we've always been taught as an entrepreneur, client acquisition. We know how to, we know what it costs for us to retain a client, to get a client. We know how to do our conversion rate as clients. We know how we have follow-up systems. We know we have marketing budgets. We know our close rate, right? So we were taught this as entrepreneurs. We know this. It's pretty simple stuff as an owner or as a cleaning company. So typically, does anybody throw some numbers out there? What's it cost typically to retain a recurring client? So in CBF, typically it used to cost like $250, $200, but post-COVID, it's gotten a lot cheaper, I would guess. Most people say it's a lot lower now, like maybe 100, 150. So, we all know these numbers, and typically they say our close rate on clients should be like 40, 45%, 50%. So we know those close rates. We know those numbers when it comes to client acquisition. But do you know your numbers when it comes to applicant acquisition? Have you even heard of applicant acquisition? So it's something that's actually very important now. And all that time and all that energy and all that money that we were putting into client acquisition now needs to be going into applicant acquisition. So know your numbers. So these are real numbers, and my little video screen is hiding the last number, but these are real numbers taken in a 6-month span, based off impressions, clicks, apply starts, application submissions, scheduled interviews, showed interviews, hires, and retained. So this is real numbers and percentages on a company. So do you know your percentages? So you need to know your percentages so you can reach your hiring goals. You need to know these numbers, because these numbers are so important so that you can keep up with, if I need to hire 5 employees a month, then what is my show rate? What is my hiring percentage of showed interviews, right? What is my click rate? Well, if 34,000 people saw my ad and only 30% of them click into it, how many people need to see my ad? So these are real numbers. So this is super important for you to reach your goals, whether it's a revenue goal, right? Because our revenue is directly connected to our hiring goal. So not knowing your numbers could cost you big time. So do you know your numbers? We have to know. And so there's a QR code. And if Chris is on some of these, and I can also drop the link, there is a link, the QR code. If you are on a computer, you can scan it. Actually, you can't scan it because the little bar is messing up the QR code. There is a QR code and there is a link. And I'm going to see if I can drop the link in here. There is a link. And so we have a nice little tool for you guys to put in your numbers. And this tool is going to help you figure out how to get to your hiring goals. And it is a calculator that will help you figure out not just your attrition rate, because we've seen all those calculators before. This tool is going to help you figure out some really amazing stuff, right? So you need to know your attrition rate, your show-up rate, and your hire rate. So here we go. This is okay, now you can scan it here. So this tool right here, this is an actual example of numbers we put in from an actual company. And so scan the tool and have your numbers. So I'm going to look at my notes. Just give me 1 second. I have my notes here. Okay. So these are actual numbers from a company. So when you put in your numbers, this tool here is going to give you some amazing information. It's going to give you, you're going to put in where you stand, right? What is your monthly revenue right now? You're going to put in your goal. Where do you want to end at the end of the year? I want to end at 60,000 revenue a year. Then it's going to tell you how many technicians you're going to need at the end of the year. And then how many you're going to need to hire. And then my favorite part of the tool at the bottom is going to tell you a lot of information. It breaks it down to yearly, then the monthly section, and then the weekly and the daily. So daily, you're going to have to interview 3.1 people a day, right? Weekly, you're going to have scheduled interviews, 15.3 scheduled interviews a week. Weekly interviews done. That is if you have a 30% show rate, which this is a company, and so this is company A. So this company, we're going to say, doesn't have it all figured out. They have a pretty high turnover rate, which is a 200% turnover rate, which in the cleaning industry is pretty typical. They may not have a lot of systems in place. They don't have a lot of processes. Maybe they're not offering great pay. And, they're still kind of small. They have 4 technicians. So they have a 200% turnover rate. And when you put your numbers in, this will tell you your turnover rate. It will tell you your show-up rate, and it will tell you your hire rate. So this is pretty mind-blowing when you see it, because, 15 interviews a week, you're like, wow, that's how many you need scheduled. So that means 4 of them have to show up. Well, 4.5. So you might as well say 5. And monthly, I have to offer 2 offers. And 1 tech, right, has to be hired. And at the end of the year, I have to have hired 12. So that is company A, right? And in company A, each employee is worth about $30,000 that they bring in revenue. They don't make $30,000. They're bringing in about $30,000 in revenue. Maybe you're still working in teams. So these are some really eye-opening numbers, because to get 15 scheduled interviews is pretty difficult to do if you don't have a very competitive offer right now. And again, if you scan the code, you have access to this tool. So this is company A. Again, make sure you're paying attention to the number of, at the bottom, scheduled interviews, daily interviews. That's pretty high. 15 a week I need scheduled. Some people are struggling to even have 4 or 5. So the next example I have is company B, right? This is a little bit larger company. The company has invested a lot of time in systems and processes and culture. They are doing $120,000 in revenue. Their goal is to be 300,000, right? Very aggressive goals. They want to more than double. They want to end the year with 45 technicians. And it's going to tell you how many new technicians needed is 27, right? And so when you do this calculator, you're going to need to know how many left through the year of 2021. And each employee is worth $80,000, not $30,000. So maybe they're practicing the solo model. Maybe they have, they're charging a great hourly rate. Maybe they did proper price increases. And because they have great culture and they're paying really well, they have a very low turnover, 80% turnover. An 80% turnover rate is good. And they have a 60% show rate for their interviews.
Actually, I think you meant 80% retention.
I'm sorry, 80% attention.
Yes, I knew you didn't mean 80% leave.
No. So attrition, yeah. 80% of them do not leave, sorry. And they have a 60% show rate for interviews. And they, 20% of them are a good fit that show up for their interviews. They're the right fit. And so they have some things figured out. They, again, maybe they've invested some focus on some systems and processes. They have an owner that's running the company, not in the company. Look at the number of scheduled interviews they need a day and look at the weekly scheduled interviews they need versus company A.
Now, the letters are small. Can you read them for them? Because it's pretty tiny on our screen.
Yes. So with the other company A, right, we needed, wrong slide. We needed 3.1 daily scheduled interviews. Here with company B, the larger company, we need 1.4 scheduled interviews a day.
Because you're losing fewer people. You're not constantly replacing the last ones that you hired.
We're losing fewer people. Yes. We are finding people that are a better fit also. With the weekly scheduled interviews, company A, I had to have 14 scheduled interviews a week. With company B, I only need 7. Again, because I'm not turning over so fast. So it is very eye-opening when you do this calculator and you're like, oh my gosh, wow, can I possibly do this by myself? Can I possibly, I was talking to someone on Facebook the other day and she was like, I have a 400% turnover rate. She went through 34 people. And so for even her to keep up, it would be almost exhausting. for her to even reach her goals or keep up with sustaining what she has.
Yeah,
So,
not even including trying to grow, just keeping up with who's left.
mm-hmm. So a lot of people don't talk about, if I want to reach, $120,000 in revenue, how many people do I need to apply, to show up, to interview, to offer? Like, have you ever even thought about how many job offers do I need to hand out? So this was something, because again, hiring is my forte. I love it. How many job offers do I need to give? I feel like sometimes I told my office manager, I'm like, it's like Oprah Winfrey, and you get a car and you get a car, just keep handing them out. And she sometimes laughs. She's like, you don't feel like we're going to overhire? I'm like, no. It's a learning curve for someone that didn't, come from the cleaning industry when I first had hired her, but now she's learned, we have to offer 3.6 offers to get 1.8 hired technicians. And I know those numbers are decimals, but we wanted to get very, very specific with your hiring goals. So it's very interesting. So it's working it backwards. So this calculator is super cool, super handy. You can use it based off the number of technicians you want, and it's also based off your revenue you want to achieve. So if you say, Coach Libby, I want to be a $200,000 a month revenue company, that calculator will tell you how many employees you need, and then it's going to work it backwards, right? How many interviews, applications, offers, all the way back. And so it's there for you guys to figure that out and see, how do I get there, or how many of these things do I have to achieve on a yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily basis? It's kind of like a backwards goal sheet, Debbie.
I love it. It's exactly what we do in CBF, is we set our goals and work backwards, break them down to achieve them. This is so phenomenal, Libby.
Yes. And so company B is actually my company.
Yep.
So, and I do have to say, the systems and processes from CBF have totally have created the 80% that we have.
Mm-hmm. Retention rate, right?
Retention
so we'll
rate.
Update the slides, and we're going to announce something very exciting to the people that are attending here in just a minute. But I hope you guys are seeing it. She didn't even tell you up front that company B was her. The typical company that I talk to throughout the United States, their average cleaner generates between $30,000 and $42,000 to $43,000 a year in revenue, right? And you're like, well, how do you figure that, Debbie? Take your total sales for the year, your total sales. So let's say you're at 500,000 for the year, and divide it by the number of employees that you operated with most of the time. So let's say you had 15 or 18 employees to generate 500,000. Some are part-time, some are full-time. But on average, maybe it was 16. Let's just go with a number. If you had 16 employees, most of 2021, and you ended 2021 at about 500,000, then you would take 500,000, right? And you would divide it by the 16 employees that maybe come and go. Sometimes you hit 17, sometimes you drop down to 14, but on average, you divide it by the 16 employees. Your average employee only generated about 31,250 to your company. And okay, maybe you had 15 employees on average, right? You took the 500,000 of revenue generated by about 15 employees who came and went. I get that you probably hired 30 employees because you kept churning them, but on average, 15 people generated $500,000. Divided by the 15, your average cleaner is bringing in 33,000. Libby is showing you. Now I get the rates are a little higher in Florida, but because she's obviously fixed the retention problem, which CBF helps you with, and she's fixed the recruitment problem, which Woot Recruit helps you with, right? So Woot Recruit will bring them in the door. But if you don't have a system that is designed specifically around employee retention, then they'll run out the back door just like they always have. But Root Recruit will definitely help you fill up those holes. But it's on you as the business owner to close the back door. And if and it's not just that she's going to finally bring you amazing candidates. We've all watched amazing candidates leave too, right? So we show you how to keep them, employees long-term, how to build a company that people actually want to work for. Libby's going to show you how to grow your company using Root Recruit instead of just replenish the people running out the back door. So, okay, you're kind of replenishing your broken company, right? Company B, Libby's company, her average cleaner is bringing in around 80,000. Okay. An average CBF member, depending on what market they're in, can average each cleaner bringing in 55,000 to 65,000, depending on the market they're in. So the numbers are real. And when you understand what the numbers are, what are the metrics, what are the goals as she's setting, helping you figure out how to set tonight, and how to go from what's probably in many companies, 50, 2,500, 50, 60, 70% employee turnover to now having 80% retention, right? It's just unheard of in our industry. So Woot Recruit's going to help you get people so that you can grow your company, not just replace the people who are leaving because your company has internal issues, systems, processes, culture, and all the other issues that cause cleaners to say, this is not a career for me. We now have people who come on board to our companies, I know Libby will attest to this, that are career cleaners, not just short-term cleaners sticking around until they find a better job. Libby, do you have any more slides before I share with them kind of a very exciting announcement? Okay.
Yes. So it has to do with, right, fixing and really setting these hiring goals. And hiring is hard right now. So one of the easiest ways to ease up and fix that hiring process is having the right system, having the right job and the right pay, right? And hire the right people. And you have to have the right mindset to grow. And so that is really what it takes to fix the attrition, to fix the show up rate, and to fix the hire rate.
I love it. I mean, I know it sounds simple, guys. Thank you for popping that up there. I know it sounds simple. Nobody is downplaying how hard it is to be an entrepreneur in any industry. I don't care what industry you're in. I mean, Libby already shared it's hard. You can keep that slide up there. Keep that slide up there for CBF Live. I mean, she's already shared having a software business is hard, right? And they're helping people every day. Owning a cleaning business is hard. So we're not going to ever tell you business will be easy, but here's what's not fun. I don't mind working hard if I get results. I don't mind working hard if my hard work is actually achieving the results of helping me grow and move forward. I didn't like the hard work of just replacing the people who left, staying at the same size year after year, still being in the field cleaning. It's a different kind of hard. And Libby has something she's shared in the past. It's like, choose your hard, right? Business is hard. Making money is hard. Being wealthy is hard. Being poor is hard. Choose your hard, right? So we're not downplaying that business is hard. So here's what we've decided to do. Are you having a hard time pulling that back up? That CBF
It won't
Live?
let me.
Interesting. So let's see here. So if you go back and try to share, remember you go to the Chrome tab instead of the other tab, I think, and pick your slide, maybe there. It's a little tricky on StreamYard. So we have something exciting we're going to do tomorrow, even if she doesn't find it, because it's rolling across your screen. You can go to cbflive.com and learn more if you want to register for our 10X Your Team event, April 7th, 8th, and 9th. It's 3 days in Dallas, gorgeous resort hotel, 15 minutes from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, and incredible shopping and restaurants and bars and amazing steakhouses, all here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We have a beautiful resort we're going to be at with an incredible rate for our event. So you can go to cbflive.com and register tonight and use coupon code Hire Now if you're watching on the Profits group, or Launch 27 if you're watching from the Launch 27 page. But Hire Now is your coupon code, and you'll get $197 off our registration price. There we go, Libby. Thank you. So there's our event right there. Hire Now is your code. And here's what we're going to do, because we've had a lot of people saying, well, how much is CBF? Because if I can work with Woot Recruit, which I'm telling you, Woot Recruit is a game changer if you're struggling to hire and attract. She's going to help you bring in better candidates. But you're like, but help me slam the back door so they quit running away after 9 to 12 months in my company, no matter if they're good or whatever. We're going to do a discovery call Friday. That's tomorrow at 3 p.m. with anybody who wants to know how much is CBF, how long does it take to go through the program? Is there a payment plan? Is there 100% money back guarantee? What's included, right? All of those things we're going to share with you. And it's very easy to get your name on the list to receive an email that says it's 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 p.m. if you're in the Eastern Time Zone, 1 p.m. if you're in the Pacific Time Zone, 2 p.m. if you're in Mountain. Hope you got that. But Central Time, 3 o'clock, Eastern Time, 4 p.m. tomorrow to learn the details. You're like, oh, I'm going to be out cleaning at the time. We're going to talk about the rest of your life. Finish that job early. Start an hour early. See if you can get somebody to take over the last bit of vacuuming and get on that call with us. So 3 p.m. tomorrow, Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern. If you go to cleaningbusinessfundamentals.com, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. If you go to Cleaning Business Fundamentals, let's see here. Now, why is it? I see what you're saying, Libby. Sometimes it like doesn't let you share, which is very strange.
It's kind of finicky.
Yeah. Do I have to kick this from the studio? I'm going to kick that from the studio. Okay. Ooh, I don't want to kick Libby out. Okay. Do you have to unshare?
Yeah.
That's it. Unshare. I messed that up. So I'm going to show you guys really quick. Let's see here. Still not letting me. Oh, slides? Nope.
No, it's share screen. It's towards the bottom of when you click share.
All right. Let's see if, whoops. Uh-oh. Libby, can you still see me?
Yes.
Huh. Okay. It disappeared off my screen. Let me enter the studio. Okay. I am not sure what happened. Oh, there it is. Hang on. You guys are like, what's wrong with these people? It's not Libby, it's me. So what's wrong with Debbie? All I can say to what's wrong with Debbie is from one of my favorite movies. And the answer is, I don't know. Okay. So here's my screen to make it a little bit easier for you.
There you go.
So hopefully there we go. Gee whiz. All right. So I want to thank Launch 27 for letting us live stream into their group today. They love it when sources will come into their community and help people solve some of their most frustrating problems. And so we work very closely with Launch 27 and Omar to try to bring value. I'm going to try to go in there more and more and help contribute and answer questions. And sometimes I forget and I don't do it. So I am committed to doing more of that for you. But I also want to thank Woot Recruit. Let's see here. Why is it not slide transitioning? I want to thank Woot Recruit, Libby and Paul's company, for bringing this incredible knowledge around setting goals to reach your hiring goals for 2022. Not just your sales goals, but your hiring goals. Because if you don't reach your hiring goals, you will not reach your sales goals. So I want to thank them for that as well. And then tomorrow, we are going to introduce you to the whole program, CBF. I have a complete, amazing A team that helps us help so many cleaning business owners all around the country. We have our certified CBF coaches. We have the amazing Diana on our team and others. And so we're going to talk to you a little bit about the support that we provide to you at CBF, which stands for Cleaning Business Fundamentals.com, Cleaning Business Fundamentals. We're going to show you how we've created more mop-free millionaires than anyone on the planet. And the proof is in the pictures. These are just some of the people that have stood on our stage at our CBF Live event and received their prestigious green jacket. This was the group before Libby. So Libby's not even in this picture. It's an old picture. We have so many people, we can't even fit them all in one picture now, that have received their Mop-Free Millionaire green jacket, kind of like the Masters jacket that golfers get. So you'll hear all about how we do this and how the cost of not knowing what to do to grow to the next level is actually more than the cost of learning how. We have an amazing payment plan. It's ridiculously affordable. People always say, I heard it's expensive. And then they talk to us and they find out, oh, it's cheaper than a used car. It's cheaper than a year of college that's probably not going to teach you how to create a six-figure or multiple six-figure income for yourself. And so I get to teach people all over the world how to build their cleaning business, how to get out of the field, how to build a team they love and a team that loves them. And I'll show you what we do to do that. And so we are the #1 residential cleaning business academy in the world, and we'll explain how we've achieved that. We've helped so many business owners 10x their business. Many of them 3 and 5x their investment the very first year. Maybe not all of them, but many of them. And so our program has physical, tangible tools, materials, forms, documents, a legal bundle, all the training you would need. That's our speed cleaning warehouse. They ship everything to you. It is the most comprehensive residential cleaning business program in the world. And we'll tell you all about that on Friday. That is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. We're going to explain to you our 5-step formula for getting out of the field, making more profit, building and growing a thriving residential cleaning business. We'll also share with you that we also have 3 levels because CBF has helped so many people achieve their goals. They're like, what else? I want the next level. And so we actually had to create 2 more levels after your first essentials year in the program. And Libby, of course, is in that 3rd level. And that's really where you begin to make an impact and start other businesses. Some people will become authors as a result of being in the advanced pro group. Some people are now CBF certified coaches, and now they're mentoring other members, which is rewarding and earning an additional income. So we're going to tell you all about that tomorrow so that you'll know the prices, the payment plan, what's included, what are the guarantees. And I want to show you how I and so many others went from cleaning the houses year after year after year to living a life I never thought was possible for somebody who did not go to college, got married at 18, started having babies at age 22, and started cleaning houses out of the trunk of my car for $5 an hour. How did I ever get to where I had a successful business and be able to show other people as well? So we're going to share all of the vision, the dream, and the opportunity with you tomorrow at 3. Here's how you sign up. You're like, I want to know. And there's no obligation. Just come on. Let us give you the details and let you ask your questions, because you're going to have questions. Okay, what about this? What about this? Right? And so you can come on at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. tomorrow with me. I'm only going to have 90 minutes because I'm leaving early tomorrow for date night with my hubby. And you will go to cleaningbusinessfundamentals.com tonight. Or if you're watching on the replay, you need to do this tomorrow before noon to have time to get the email link. So we'll set up an email that will go out tomorrow morning for you. And if you sign up at cleaningbusinessfundamentals.com, all you have to do is go through that very first stopgap, which is basically an email form. It says, give me your email, right? Fill that out, your name and your email, hit submit. Then if you want, you can go further, learn a little bit more about the program, and you can fill out an application. But if you don't go any further than the first page that says, give me your email, you will be added to the list that will go out tomorrow with a link to join us on a Zoom call, because you want to be able to be on that Zoom call and ask your critical questions. If you have a spouse in business or a spouse who you have to ask permission to invest in yourself, or a business partner, then have them on this call with you tomorrow, because they have questions too. And it's hard for you to convince them of something you want to do if they aren't there to ask their questions. So make sure you invite your spouse or business partner. Join us at 3 p.m. tomorrow, Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, cleaningbusinessfundamentals.com. Fill out that very first email form on that very first page, and that will put you on the list to receive an email tomorrow to join us on a discovery call, where we're going to answer your questions, tell you about the program, the cost, and the payment plan. So thank you, Launch 27, for letting us broadcast tonight into your group. Thank you so much, Woot Recruit, for taking the time to do this. And let me unshare my screen and come back. Libby, any final words
Yes,
of encouragement?
Actually, set those goals and stick to them. And
hey, you weren't seeing my screen, were you? Or were you?
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, I just thought about that. Okay, go ahead.
Set those goals and stick to them. And if you ever need help or encouragement, there's always a community around you that can support you in those goals, right? You just have to be willing to invest in yourself. But the time has to be right. The other thing I want to talk about is CBF Live. It is absolutely amazing. The coaches, and I love our CBF coaches. We will all be teaching. Debbie's teaching, and she delivers amazing content. But besides that, you will be in a room with probably 400 other cleaning business owners that are going through the same struggle or the same thing. One of my favorite parts is just having a drink with somebody and talking to them at the end of every night. Like, that is amazing. And the ideas and meeting people and the ideas alone that I get going to CBF Live is worth every penny. Just the ideas. Not even like the content alone is way worth it, but just the ideas and meeting people absolutely is mind-blowing.
Libby, thank you for sharing that. Libby is one of those people that's incredibly relatable. She mixes and mingles with everybody. You see her talking and teaching. You're going to see her on stage. She is incredible on stage. And you're going to feel like, oh, she's so important, I can't talk to her. A lot of times people feel that way about speakers or consultants or people with big, successful businesses. She's one of the most relatable people you will ever meet. So she's like, yeah, I'll help you. Come out here. Let me talk to you. I'll see you for drinks. Come meet me in the morning or whatever. So she's incredibly relatable. You do want to meet her. If you join us on our discovery call tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central, you're going to find out how you might be able to receive an incredible bonus at CBF Live. I'm not going to tell you what it is. So join us on the discovery call tomorrow if you are wanting more information about how to join CBF and the cost. If you want to work with Libby, she only works on consulting with CBF members, because you can't help somebody who doesn't even have a system to help them follow, right? So she works with CBF members. She'll help you with Woot Recruit. Absolutely. You can contact Woot Recruit. Libby, what is your contact information if they want to reach out to you?
The email is hire@wootrecruit.com, or the website is
hire. Is that where you would want to send them?
Yes. Yeah, because support mainly does a lot of stuff. They won't get me.
Exactly. Yes. So hire@wootrecruit.com. You're going to get the live Libby, and then come to our discovery call tomorrow. We're going to be on Zoom where you can ask your questions live, or if you're shy and don't want to ask, you just want to listen and hear what's the cost, what's the opportunity, what are the guarantees, then just come if you don't want to ask questions. But join us tomorrow. This is kind of an impromptu thing. The way you will do it is you'll go to cleaningbusinessfundamentals.com and you will just give us your email on that very first screen. If you want to apply for a free strategy session, you can. But if you want to be invited to tomorrow's live event, then just fill out that first email form and you'll receive an email sometime tomorrow morning, probably late morning, with all the details and the link to join us on Zoom. And Libby, this has been tremendous. There's a lot of people talking about how Cleaning Business Fundamentals was so helpful. Oh, Debbie Saviano says so much fabulous information. Thank you. We have cbflive.com posted here, the annual training event for residential cleaners. You can use Hire Now as your coupon code. So we will know that it was Libby who inspired you to come to CBF Live.
Yes, Amy.
And that's Coach Libby. All right, there it is. An appointment booked right there. Amy, one of our amazing CBF members with the brand new office, glass of wine. Uh-oh, somebody else said, oh, did I hear Libby's buying at the bar? Well, I don't know about that. We heard you were. So guys, go to cleaningbusinessfundamentals.com and we will contact you in the morning, give you the link to join us at 3 p.m. tomorrow. We'll talk about your business. We'll answer your questions and we'll introduce you to the #1 residential cleaning business program in the world and the signature component of our program. Our signature secret sauce is radically turning around your employee turnover and radically showing you how to retain career cleaners for life instead of churning and burning people that don't even leave on good terms, that you didn't enjoy working with, that wrecked your quality of life. So thank you, Diana, for being Debbie Sardone Consulting and answering questions on the other side in Facebook. Thank you so much, Coach Libby, for sharing this wealth of knowledge. Anybody that joins us on the discovery call tomorrow, Libby, can we make available in PDF format the slides that you did tonight? I know that wasn't included tonight. This wasn't a paid registration, but can we make your slides available for the discovery call attendees tomorrow? That'll be our bonus gift.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wonderful.
Yes.
And she'll clean up a couple of those typos and we'll give you that PowerPoint slide presentation in PDF in case you're like, what were those numbers? What were those numbers? They were incredible. We'll offer that to you tomorrow just for showing up as a bonus gift. And thank you, Libby, for your generosity of time. I know it's very generous when a mom takes her evening, because she's in Florida, it's late there, it's 7:30 at night, and takes her evening away from her family to spend it with all of you. So guys, if you loved Libby's presentation tonight, will you give a little shout out in the comments? Tell us what you tell her, what you thought. Thank Libby, give her some kudos, some shout outs. We love you, Libby. You're awesome, Libby. Share that in the comments.
Today is my 10-year wedding anniversary. So,
and you're on here with us?
Yeah.
Okay, so I owe Chris an apology.
I didn't realize that when I told Diana, oh yeah, I can do the 17th.
Oh, for crying out loud. Well, I hope tomorrow night is date night for the anniversary. All right. Well, they're saying thank you, Libby. Obviously, your time is so generous. And of course, have a happy and amazing anniversary tonight. Tell Chris we love him for sharing you with us. And the whole industry is grateful for your knowledge. People are saying happy anniversary. And thank you, Libby. This was fantastic. And thank you, thank you, thank you. They're coming in so fast, I can't pop them all up. But we love to brag. Oh my gosh, Christopher, Chris is spending your anniversary with us. I know he's going to kill me. All right. So I think that's it. Thank you, everybody. I think I have dinner ready for me, so I'm going to go eat. You go kiss that sweet husband, and I hope you guys have a wonderful time tomorrow night. And the rest of you that are curious about CBF, join us on a discovery call tomorrow at 3 p.m. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you, Coach Libby. Take care. Thanks, Diana, for all your help.